Come closer. The shadows have missed you, and tonight they have a new story to tell. Welcome to Scary Stories After Dark. Snow swallowed the road hours ago. Laura pressed her forehead to the passenger window, watching the headlights dissolve in white. The GPS had lost signal 2 turns back. Now it was just them and the voice of the engine. Steady, nervous, the only sound in the world. Bill's knuckles were pale around the wheel. "Almost there," he muttered, as if the sentence might keep the mountain from closing in. The sign appeared out of nowhere, half buried under frost. Ebonvale Lodge, private guests only. Laura's stomach turned, not from fear exactly, but from that odd sixth sense that something wasn't right. She told herself it was exhaustion. City air didn't prepare you for silence this thick. The lodge emerged through the snow like a mirage. Black timber ribs, windows glowing faint amber, smoke wound upward from tall chimneys, disappearing into low clouds. It was beautiful. Too beautiful. A man and woman waited on the porch. They didn't shiver. They didn't even blink when the SUV pulled up. "Welcome," said the man, his smile wide and practiced. "You must be the Parkers?" Laura stepped out, boots sinking deep into snow. The cold bit through her jeans instantly. She looked up at the house again and caught her reflection in the entry glass. Except it wasn't her. The eyes staring back were wider, distant, almost hopeful. Then Bill opened the door and the reflection vanished. Inside smelled of pine and polished wood. A fire crackled in the grand hearth, throwing gold over the walls. Guests lounged on leather sofas, murmuring in soft tones that seemed to rise and fall together as if everyone shared the same breath. Mrs. Halden, the hostess, handed Laura a mug of mulled wine. "You'll find your room upstairs. Dinner at 8. Please make yourselves at home." Her grip lingered too long on Laura's wrist, skin cool as porcelain. Upstairs, Laura unpacked while Bill joked about the minibar, the fancy robes, the promise of doing nothing for 4 days. She smiled because that's what love asked you to do sometimes. Smile through unease. From the corner vent came a soft, rhythmic sound, not quite pipes, not quite wind, a slow, deliberate knock from somewhere beneath the floorboards. Laura froze. The air felt heavier, warmer. She knelt, pressed her ear to the vent. 3 short knocks, 1 long. Then silence. dinner shimmered with too much polish. Crystal clinked, silver caught firelight, and every sound felt rehearsed. Laura sat between Bill and a woman in red who never blinked. "Isn't it divine?" Mrs. Halden's voice floated from the head of the table. "To be hidden from the world a while." The guests murmured approval all at once. It didn't sound like agreement. It sounded like an echo. Across the table, Dr. Pierce rubbed his temples, wincing each time the violinist dragged her bow. "Altitude headache," he muttered when Laura asked if he was okay. His pupils looked uneven in the candlelight. The newlyweds, Holly and Dane, recorded everything with a camcorder older than they were. The lens turned toward Laura once, just once, and she felt her chest tighten like being stared at by something inside the camera. Bill tried to keep things light. "They said there's a sauna downstairs. Maybe it'll thaw me out before I become an ice sculpture." Laughter rippled around the table. Too quickly, perfectly timed. The bellhop stood at the far wall, hands folded, smiling. His uniform hung too loose, sleeves hiding his wrists. When the candlelight flared, Laura saw that his smile didn't reach his eyes. It didn't move at all. After dessert, Mr. Halden raised his glass. "To our new arrivals, may they find warmth in the cold." Everyone drank. Laura didn't. Later, she lay awake, the window humming with wind. Bill slept, steady breath against her shoulder. Below them, soft and patient, came the same knocking she'd heard before. 3 short, 1 long. Then a dragging sound like something heavy being pulled across the floor beneath their bed. She held her breath, listened, counted her heartbeat. And when it finally stopped, she realized she was smiling without meaning to. By morning, the world was white and soundless. The windows had frosted shut, sealing them inside a snow globe of quiet. Bill brewed coffee in the small copper pot by the fire, humming softly, trying to make the room feel ordinary. Laura's eyes kept drifting to the vent near the floor. The metal was rimmed with frost, but the center dripped like it had been warm during the night. "Bill," she said, "you heard that, right?" He smiled over his shoulder. "Just the heater." She didn't argue, but her hands wouldn't stop shaking. Downstairs, the lodge buzzed with polite activity. A chess game by the fire, the smell of scones, the hosts gliding between tables like ghosts dressed in wool. Dr. Pierce wasn't there, neither were the newlyweds. Mrs. Halden explained it away. They left early before the storm trapped us. Yet when Laura peeked outside, the snow was unbroken. No tracks. No tire marks. She found the bellhop polishing the banister. "Did you see them go?" she asked. He paused, cloth still in his hand. "Go?" "Yes, the guests who left this morning." He tilted his head, eyes glassy. "No one leaves once it snows." Then he smiled again and went back to polishing, each stroke the same length, the same rhythm as the knocks under the floor. That night the power flickered. The lamps dimmed, revived, then dimmed again, like the building was breathing. Laura stepped into the hall. Shadows from the sconces stretched and curved with the light. 3 short knocks, 1 long. The sound came from the end of the corridor, beneath the narrow staircase that spiraled down to the service wing. She followed it barefoot, each board whispering under her weight. The air smelled of damp metal and something faintly sweet like spoiled fruit. At the bottom, an antique cabinet blocked a low door. The doorknob was black iron, rimmed with frost. She touched it. It beat once beneath her fingers like a pulse. Laura yanked her hand away. Somewhere inside, something exhaled. She backed up the stairs, every muscle screaming to run, but every instinct telling her not to wake the house. When she reached the landing, Bill was standing there in the half-dark, eyes wide, jaw tight. He whispered, "I heard it this time." The power died just after midnight. For a heartbeat, the world went completely black, the storm outside hammering against the walls like fists. Then the emergency lights sputtered to life. Thin red bulbs that painted the hallway like an open wound. Laura moved first, flashlight trembling in her hand. Bill followed, a kitchen knife glinting at his side. The knocks had grown louder, slower. They weren't coming from under their room anymore. They were coming from beneath the stairs. The antique cabinet scraped across the floor when they shoved it aside. Behind it, a door, small and iron, half-rotted at the hinges. The smell hit them before the sound did. Metal, sweat, something sour and sweet like old fruit left in the sun. Laura pushed it open. The beam of her flashlight swept over chains, rusted hooks, a glint of teeth. 2 people huddled in the corner, wrists bound to the joists, mouths taped, faces bruised. Their eyes, God, their eyes, begged without sound. Bill knelt, peeling the tape from the woman first. She sobbed, but didn't scream. The man coughed blood. Laura whispered, "We'll get you out." The floor above them creaked, slow, deliberate footsteps crossing the parlor. The woman shook her head violently. "No noise, please," and tilted her chin toward the shadows deeper in the cellar. Laura turned the light. Something hunched in the dark, skin stretched too tight, frost blooming along its shoulders. Its mouth opened, showing teeth that weren't quite human anymore. It didn't move. It only watched. Bill froze. Laura killed the flashlight. The steps above paused, then moved away again. The silence afterward was unbearable. They waited, breathing shallow. The chained man moaned softly, a sound like a broken machine. Laura touched his wrist. Skin ice cold, faint blue veins glowing beneath. She whispered, "We'll come back for you." When they slipped out and pulled the door closed, she caught one last glimpse. The woman's eyes reflecting red from the emergency light. It looked like the reflection came from inside her. They didn't speak until they were upstairs again. Laura pressed her ear to the hallway wall, listening for footsteps. Nothing. The whole lodge had gone mute, as if it were listening too. Bill sat on the edge of the bed, staring at his hands. "They're chained down there," he said finally, voice raw. "Someone did that. Someone in this house." Laura nodded. "And that thing in the corner?" He shook his head sharply. "No, we don't even know what we saw." But she did. She could still feel its eyes. Wide, unblinking, blue as ice underwater. From the vent above the dresser came a soft sound, like wind dragging through metal, only it wasn't wind. It was breathing. She stood on the chair, pressing her palm to the grate. Cold air brushed her skin. Wrongly cold, wet, like it came from deep underground. Then a faint knock. 3 short, 1 long. She jerked back. The chair toppled. Bill caught her, holding her tight. "We can't stay here," she whispered. Before he could answer, something flickered across the window. Just a reflection at first. But when she looked again, she realized it was outside, moving up the wall. The emergency lights pulsed once. The power hummed to life. Voices rose from downstairs. Forced laughter, clinking glasses. As if nothing had happened. Bill rubbed his temple. "Let's just rest," he said. "We'll think straight in the morning." Laura didn't argue. But as she slid into bed beside him, she kept her eyes open. Because beneath the wind and the crackle of pipes, she could still hear the faint sound of chains moving below the floorboards. Snow hammered the windows so hard it sounded like applause. The lodge was a red-lit coffin, its backup lights pulsing in slow waves. Bill's hand shook as he cut the chains. The metal screamed. The freed woman, Caitlin, she managed to whisper, collapsed against Laura's shoulder. Her skin was so cold it burned. Her partner, Evan, tried to stand, but his legs folded beneath him. They hid them in a linen closet off the hallway. Laura pressed her ear to the door while Bill searched for water. The air tasted metallic, thick with ozone and something wet burning in the generator room below. Caitlin stirred. "Don't make sound." Her pupils were blown wide. Faint blue veins shimmered under her throat like lightning trapped beneath glass. "What did they do to you?" Laura whispered. Caitlin's lips twitched. "Fed it so it won't come upstairs." Bill returned, face pale. "Half the guests are gone." From the dining hall came a muffled crash, then screaming. They ran. Dr. Pierce was on the floor, convulsing, eyes rolled white, steam poured from his mouth. When his body stilled, it wasn't still for long. He rose, every joint cracking, pupils glowing faintly blue. He turned toward them, jaw trembling, teeth new and sharp. Bill swung the knife. The sound that came out of Pierce wasn't human, it was a chorus. One voice multiplied, echoing through the vents. From somewhere deep beneath their feet, the knocks began again, faster now, matching the rhythm of their hearts. Laura dragged Bill back into the hall. The walls throbbed with heat. Frost melted and ran like sweat. Down the corridor, the bellhop stood motionless. His uniform was soaked dark down the chest. He smiled, voice calm. "It's awake." They bolted for the servants' stairs. Behind them came a wave of voices. Every guest still breathing, chanting in overlapping murmurs that weren't words at all. At the bottom, Laura turned to Bill, his breath fogged heavier than the air should allow. "Bill," she whispered. He met her eyes. For an instant, his pupils flashed blue. The storm outside had gone silent, but the house had not. Every wall groaned like a living thing, shifting under its own breath. The air was thick with copper and cold smoke. Laura led the way down the servants' stairs, candle trembling between her fingers. Bill followed, his steps uneven, the knife slick in his grip. Behind them, Caitlin and Evan moved like ghosts, half-conscious, whispering things that made no sense. At the bottom, the door to the basement gaped open. Someone had already been there. The trail of footprints was a smear of blood and melted ice. The generator hummed softly. The light it cast wasn't yellow. It was a dull, pulsing blue. Laura lifted the candle higher. Shapes emerged from the dark, hanging bodies, dozens, hooks lined along the beams like a slaughterhouse. The air shimmered with heat and frost at once, their breaths fogging around them. She stepped closer. One of the bodies twitched, its eyes snapped open, faintly glowing. Caitlin screamed. The sound woke something in the far corner. It rose slowly, the size of a car, skin fused from dozens of bodies, veins glowing through translucent frost. Its mouth wasn't one. It was many, layered like coral. Each opened and whispered the same word in 100 voices.
Feed.
Bill stumbled back, clutching his head. His eyes blazed blue. Laura grabbed him, shaking him, shouting his name. He looked at her, and for one impossible instant she saw herself reflected inside his pupils, smaller, trembling, breaking apart. He gasped and dropped to his knees. The floor vibrated, a breath, wet and deep, filled the room. The hanging bodies began to sway, whispering in unison. "Keep it alive, keep it alive." Laura struck the generator's fuel line with the knife. Blue fire burst out, catching the walls, racing up the chains like veins. The creature shrieked. 1,000 voices tearing through her head. She grabbed Bill's hand, pulling him toward the stairs as flames ate the wood. Behind them, Caitlin and Evan followed, coughing, their skin catching blue light like glass. The house screamed. They burst through the kitchen door into the blizzard. Smoke and snow twisted together behind them as Ebonvale Lodge burned, the glow devoured by white. Laura didn't look back. The blizzard swallowed them whole. The world was nothing but white and wind, a screaming void that erased the sound of the lodge burning behind them. Smoke and snow tangled together in a gray funnel that chased them down the hill. Laura could barely see 2 feet ahead. Bill stumbled, still clutching her hand, his skin fever-warm in the freezing air. Caitlin and Evan followed behind, coughing, half-dragging each other, the fire's glow pulsing faintly in the storm like a dying heart. "Keep moving." Laura shouted. Her voice disappeared into the wind. The mountain moaned, deep, hollow, like something shifting beneath the ice. The ground shuddered. A crack ran across the snowfield in front of them, splitting open just enough to breathe steam. Bill swayed. "It's still down there," he whispered. "It's everywhere." She tightened her grip on him. "Don't listen." They reached the tree line, the first black pines heavy with snow. The smoke behind them was gone now, replaced by an unnatural blue glow pulsing from beneath the drifts. It wasn't the fire. It was alive. A voice rolled through the storm, not sound but vibration. A low hum that made the snow shake loose from the branches.
Come back.
Caitlin screamed, pressing her hands over her ears. Evan fell to his knees, retching up blood that steamed against the snow. The blue shimmer under their skin flickered like firelight. Laura dragged Bill toward the SUV buried near the lodge's entrance road. The doors were frozen shut. She beat at them with her fists until her knuckles split, then managed to wrench one open. They shoved everyone inside. Bill turned the key. Nothing. He slammed the dashboard, cursing. Laura saw the reflection of the blue glow creeping up through the fogged windshield. The snow itself beginning to move, shifting toward them like a tide. She whispered, "Come on, come on." The engine coughed once, twice, then roared to life. Headlights cut through the white, catching glimpses of the burning lodge's skeletal remains collapsing in the distance. They drove, fast, blind. Behind them, the mountain cracked again, spilling light like lightning trapped underground. The snow churned. Shapes moved within it. Hundreds, maybe thousands, crawling toward the warmth that was escaping. Laura turned in her seat. Caitlin stared out the rear window, tears freezing on her cheeks. "It's not dead," she whispered. "It never dies. It only waits." Laura faced forward. She couldn't argue. Hours later, dawn broke pale and thin over the forest road. Smoke streaked the horizon where the lodge had been. The world looked untouched, innocent. Bill's hand found hers. His skin was clammy, but his eyes looked human again. She let herself breathe. For the first time in days, the silence was just silence. They drove until they found signal. A single bar blinked to life on Laura's phone. Messages flooded in. Missed calls, family check-ins, news alerts about the storm. One new text waited at the top. "Hey Aunt Laura, feeling weird, LOL." Laura frowned, thumb hovering over the image. It opened. Her niece's selfie glowed bright in the morning light. Cheeks flushed, hair mussed, smiling. But her left eye, filmed over, milky white, a faint blue light pulsed beneath her skin. Laura's breath fogged the glass. The temperature inside the car dropped instantly. Frost spidered across the windshield, starting from her reflection outward. Outside, the forest went still again. The wind held its breath. Bill whispered, "Laura?" She didn't answer. Because beneath the hum of the engine, deep and rhythmic, came a sound she knew too well. 3 short knocks. One long